This chapter of the training is about programming interfaces. Programming interfaces are relevant to developers. You can skip this section if you are not a developer and you do not need to use the API. The topics of this section are: the compiler section explains how to compile EPL into bytecode. The runtime section overviews configuring and managing runtime instances. The runtime is the execution environment for EPL. The deployment section explains EPL modules, deployment of compiled EPL and managing deployments. In the statement section we learn about interacting with deployed EPL. The event bean and update listener section are useful when receiving output events as rich event abstractions. The subscriber section has details about receiving output events as method calls. Other APIs will go into further programming interfaces that can come in handy. The threading section provides information related to multi-threading. Last, we discuss compiling and executing fire and forget queries. This slide defines the terms statement, module, and deployment. A statement performs a function. There are different types of statements. Here are 3 types of statements. The select statement selects from streams, patterns or other things. This type of statement always has a select clause and a from clause. A select statement can use insert into to produce a stream, and can use many other clauses that are not shown here. The define statement defines a new event type, named window and more. This type of statement always starts with a create keyword. For instance, the EPL notebook and online tools had a create schema to define a new event type. The action statement is an action to take when a trigger happens. We have not discussed this type of statement yet. An action statement starts with an on keyword. A module consists of 0, 1 or more statements. In a module string, use semicolon to separate statements. A deployment is a compiled and deployed module. A deployment contains 0, 1 or more statements. A deployment is identified by a string-type deployment ID. A deployed statement is a unit to listen to, iterate, and obtain type information and more. A deployed statement is identified by a string-type statement name that is unique within the deployment. At runtime, only deployments can be added and removed. There is a different category of query, and that is the fire and forget query. A fire and forget query is a query that executes once and returns its results immediately upon completion. For those familiar with relational database technology, a SQL query and the JDBC API execute fire and forget queries. A fire and forget query is not a statement. It cannot be deployed. It is not a continuous query. It cannot be listened to. And it cannot be used on streams. A fire and forget query generally requires named windows and/or tables to execute against. A fire and forget query performs only 4 types of operation, namely the create, read, update and delete. The abbreviation CRUD is sometimes given to create, read, update and delete. A fire and forget create query inserts 1 or more rows. It looks like this. Insert into named window or table values. A fire and forget read query selects rows. A select looks like this. Select ... from named windows and/or tables. A fire and forget update query updates rows. An update has update named window or table set. A fire and forget delete query deletes 1 or more rows. A delete looks like this. Delete from named window or table.